Well, hello, Warrior Nation. I am Morgan Wright, your digital Sherpa for all things security related. We want to make you safer on the internet, so remember, folks, shields up. This is about online, offline, real world stuff. So today is the first installment of our training on the identity security Warriors Academy basic training. So we're going to get you guys fixed up, fired up, trained up so that you can take on hackers, scammers, and thieves. Folks, you're at war with them. Whether you know it or not, they're winning, you're not. Now it's time to turn the table. So, of course, with me is the host. I'm your host, I should say, and then the official mascot, Jack Bauer. Jack will be sitting alongside today, making sure we do everything. Folks, and when you sign up today, make sure that you get your 2016 New Year's Guide to Identity Security, how to become an identity security warrior. Yes, we want you guys to take on the bad guys. So where do you go? Now, today, we're going to talk about today called two-factor authentication. Great place you can go to learn more stuff, find out all the apps that will support this. Twofactorauth.org. Twofactorauth.org. Make sure you go there, learn about two-factor authentication. So what is it? It is the one thing that can put you above everybody else in terms of security. I can tell you right now, 95% of the people out there are not doing this, maybe even 98%, totally unscientific survey. Doesn't matter. We're making this up as we go along, at least some of it. But no, really, folks, I mean, a lot of people out there are not using this stuff. So what we want to do is turn you in to an identity security warrior. One of the ways we do that is we put another layer of security on top of that. So let's take something very easy, and I'm going to show you a real example here. We're going to put a quick training video right in the middle of this. Take email. Email is the bane of my existence. I'm sure it's the same way with you. You got to remember these passwords. I have friends who have these long passwords and they change them for all the stuff. Then they can't remember it, so they end up writing it down, trying to figure out where it is. I'm telling you, folks, 2 to 3 very good passwords, strong passwords you can remember, and I'll show. And that'll be the subject of another training video: is how to set and remember good, solid passwords. But it's not just about passwords. It's about that third layer of security. So think of a door, right? First thing you have is you have the lock in the door. Well, that's just one layer. The second lock then is another lock above it. You don't use the same key for that, right? Because if you get one key, you get both. So it's the key for that one, then it's a different key for the other one. That's what lets you in. So we want to add that other layer of security. So what two-factor authentication does is when you have a username and then a password, then we add another layer across the top of that that makes it even much tougher to break into your accounts. And I will tell you right now, folks, breaking into your accounts, when we talk about phishing and spear phishing, again, more things we're going to talk about as we go along. But these spear phishing attacks that rely on compromising your email to find out stuff about you, to get access to things, to do bad things, some great stories, not great in that sense, but great stories to learn from, we'll tell you about. But folks, you email, we all use it. It's got some of the most sensitive information we deal with, personally, professionally. So let's start by locking up our email. And how do we do that? By using two-factor authentication. Lots of different apps out there. I'm going to show you an example now with Google two-factor authentication. It's called Authenticator. You can download it from the Android Marketplace, or I guess Google Play now, the iTunes, the App Store. If you're on Windows, I'm not sure if it has it on there, maybe BlackBerry, but it doesn't matter if it's this or if it's something else. The theory is the same. It's another layer of security on top of it. It's a third step you take to make it even that much tougher for people to break in, whether it's accessing your banking application, getting information to Dropbox, Evernote. If you guys are doing your own marketing, maybe it's MailChimp, SurveyMonkey, any of those things that have another layer of security, always, always, always use it. You know why? Because it makes it tougher for the bad guys and the bad girls to break in. So let me show you a real quick example of what two-factor authentication is. Then we're going to come back and wrap this up. Here we go. Well, hello, Warrior Nation. This is going to be a quick demonstration. Now, this is a non-working iPhone, so you hackers out there, don't try and get in. I don't have this is totally offline, no SIM card. It's actually one that I want just to use for testing. But today what we're going to talk about is two-factor authentication. And the app we're going to use is Google Authenticator. So I'm going to click on that. You see that down in the bottom right-hand corner. It says Authenticator. Let me show you how this works, because what we're going to do is we're going to log in to Gmail, an account I set up, breakinandwin@gmail.com. Very long password there, very tough to figure out. So, but when I hit sign in, you're going to see that it's going to take me and it's going to say, hey, enter your verification code. Now, this is where two-factor authentication comes in. So when I open up Authenticator, You see that right there? See the numbers? They're red right now. They're flashing. So every 60 seconds, that number changes. So now it's 544156, and in 60 seconds, it'll be something different. But what I'm going to simply do is I'm going to touch that. You see that? It copies it. Now, this is an iPhone. Works very similar for Android. I'm going to go back into my sign-in here. I'm going to paste that in there. You see that? Now, when I press done, it's going to log me in, and there we go. I'm not going to show you the rest of this right now, because there's a little something in there I don't want the hackers to see. But see, now 60 seconds later, guess what? Boom, we have a whole nother code. Even if I gave you my username and password, you'd have to have this 6-digit code every 60 seconds to be able to get into the account. That's what makes breaking in so tough. So now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, we're back. As you saw in that demonstration, and very easily, it's 6 digits, and it actually, I have to correct myself. In the video, I kept saying 60 seconds. It's actually even better than that. Every 30 seconds, this number changes, and then with 4 seconds to go, you see it flashes red, and then it changes to another number. Now, let me give you just a quick tip and a quick clue. If somebody calls you up pretending to be from the security department of your company, or Google or Microsoft, they say, look, we're checking, we think we've had a compromise on your account. Hey, we want to verify that you are who you say you are. What does your app say right now? Please, don't even waste your time with that kind of stuff. Just hang up on them, because trust me, there are scams like that. They're going to try and figure out ways around it. One of the ways they do it is to get you to tell them what's on your phone right now. They'll punch in that 6-digit code and they'll go, oh, that's right. You're right. Everything's taken care of. No problem. Well, yeah, you're right. No problem. Your bank account's getting drained. Your email's getting hacked. Whatever else may be going on. So protect that number. Don't share it with anybody. And remember, it's only good for 30 seconds, and then it changes. Other ones will text your phone, like, for example, PayPal. I use 2-factor authentication on PayPal. No funds can transfer unless I get the 6-digit code texted to my phone that I have to input in, and then that number is only good for 5 minutes. After that, you got to go through the whole process again. So lots of good ways to up your game, to take on hackers, scammers, and thieves, to turn the tables on these folks, and to start becoming more secure. So until the next segment next week, and remember, get your guide. Get this one right here. Yeah, I have cheap graphics department, which is me. Make sure you get this guide, because in that guide, we're going to have the 12 do's and the 12 don'ts, things that you should do. We're going to work through all of these, and by the time we're done and we go through basic training, you will be an identity security warrior. So until next time, Jack says, shields up.